Hi everyone, Melissa here. Today I'm going to be doing a mini using my Happy Place color scheme, which is roses and mauves. I've got a really nice gradient kind of color layout going with these mauve colors using Cascade Colorworks shades. Two of these shades are actually from their upcoming release that's going to be on June 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you'd like to see the rest of the colors that are going to be in this release, you can go check them out on Instagram or on Facebook. I am in love with this new release because most of the solids are this kind of like more neutral, earthy tone, which is totally the colors that I love. So definitely go check them out because they're gorgeous. The two colors from the new release that I have today are Chianti, which is a gorgeous like kind of medium, like perfect mauve color, and Shiraz, which is a deep kind of maroony rose, chunky glitter. It has a lot of depth to it. It's really stunning. So I'm going to be doing a gradient using Primrose from them, which is a darker rose color. It's just a little bit darker than Chianti. Cherry Blossom, well, Chianti after that, and then Cherry Blossom, which is an even lighter mauve color. And then their new version of Rose Quartz, they created a new version because the first version, which is the one that I used in my first video with them, it seemed to fade with UV exposure. So they remixed it and created it so that it didn't have that problem anymore. So that's what this version is right here. I'm gonna be using these in a gradient and then using Shiraz to accent all of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into dipping. So far I have my builder gel down, I have my gel top coat, and I have 2 layers of peel base. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip out the solid colors and then get into the designs. Okay, so I'm gonna be using Primrose on both my thumb and my pointer. It's just gonna be a 4-color gradient. Okay, next gonna do one nail with Chianti. Okay, now one nail with Cherry Blossom. And then finally, Rose Quartz on my pinky. Okay, now I have the solids down. We are done with those. I only did 3 dips of each of these because I'm not trying to build too much bulk with the color, because I am going to be adding some of this chunky glitter and some clear on top, and we don't want the nails to end up being too bulky. And also for that reason, I'm going to be activating and just filing these. You see they don't need a lot, but even when the nail doesn't need a lot, I still will file just to really clean up the shape and get them nice and clean. This way there's a nice clean surface, a nice smooth shaped out surface to add this on, which will make filing the finished product a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and activate and file and smooth these nails, and then we'll get into the glitter placement. Okay, now that those are all filed and smooth, we can get into the design that I'm going to be doing, and this is a pretty simple one. I'm going to be doing kind of I almost want to call it like the shadow of the nail. I don't really know if that's accurate, but it's going to kind of be going along this line, like, yeah, maybe come down a little bit more, but not all the way down to the tip. I don't want it to cover too much of the nail, I just want it to be like in the corner. Okay, now I'm going to take the glitter and I'm going to put it in this spoon. I think usually I would use cupcake liners, but they were on my grocery list yesterday, and of course I forgot them because I always forget something. It's just my life. So I'm just going to be using this spoon. Okay, then I'm just going to, first thing actually that I'm going to do is, because all of these nails have activator in the lower layers, I'm going to do a layer of base on each nail and let that dry, because the activator in the lower layers is going to cause this first layer to dry very quickly, and we don't want that. We want it to stay wet long enough to get into the glitter. Okay, now that we've done that, this next layer will stay workable much longer. Now you can use a small detail brush to paint this area of base on, or you can try and use the edge of your base brush itself. Okay, I'm just going to lay that right into this glitter. And now I'm actually going to use a little bit of gel base glitter in places where they didn't stick. The reason I'm not using dip base for this, you can. It's just a little bit more difficult to make sure you actually get that glitter on. The dip base dries quite often before you get the glitter in place, or the glitter doesn't quite stick to the dip base. It's not as easy a process as using a little bit of gel base. So I'm just going to use my little tool here and place some dip base in spots where I want a couple pieces of glitter. I've got these little strays down here that have fallen onto the mat, and I'm going to use those and place those where I want it. Okay, once you are happy with that coverage there, you can cure it to keep those that are stuck on with the gel base in place. I'm just going to put it in there for like 20 seconds and then go on and do the next nail. Okay, and now I've got the glitter down on all of the nails. I'm not going to lie to you and say that this wasn't a time-consuming process, because it kind of was. Especially getting all the little spaces filled in. Chunky glitters just don't like to hug onto the nail real easily. They take some work and some love, but they're worth it. Absolutely worth it. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and do a couple dips of clear over the top of the entire nail, and then I'm going to file the nails, activate and file the nails. So let's go ahead and get a couple clear dips on. Okay, and here is the finished product. I am in love. I love these mauves, and I wish you could see just how gorgeous this glitter is. I mean, you can really see it pretty well on the thumb here. But definitely take a look at the release they have coming soon, because I love them. And I hope you enjoyed this video and this design. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below, and I'll see you next time.